Hello, guys. I'm Sanjay Ponnappa from India today. First of all, it's great pleasure being in this room right now, although virtually. It's a great pleasure joining you guys here. I've kind of called this set the Friends in Need are the Friends Indeed set because not just the support heroes, but you are a core part of the show. I have with me here the Shoto family of sorts. I have the brothers and the father here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sanjay.
I might also be looking a little like Aizawa Sensei as well. Uh, my
You wear it
first,
well. He wears it well. It's all good.
Thank you. I'll start with the congratulations because the reception has been great.
Glad to be here.
Congratulations on the great reception. How has your experience been with all the reception from all over the world?
This was definitely a different type of show for me. I can't say I was unaccustomed to people liking a show I've worked on, but this was a different experience altogether. This show had a fan base that was different than anything else I'd experienced before because this show was so inclusive of everyone and it really, really resonated with the anime community. And so I got to see so many more like families with younger kids because the show was so appropriate for an entire family to watch.
It's awesome. It is definitely nice for such a beloved show to be ending with what feels like a bang. It's nice to go out on a very high note with everybody loving the show. It's the energy around it is so nice.
I mean, it's been a wild ride, to say the absolute least. I've had so many people over these almost 10 years now come up to me and tell me how much Bakugo inspires them and has caused them to make positive change in their lives, and seeing his growth has affected them and helped them through something. And I mean, it's a very daunting but very humbling experience to receive that kind of feedback. And they're all just talking about Katsuki, but the fact that I have any sort of small thing to do with that and that people want to talk to me about their journeys is a very touching thing. I never would have expected that in my life.
It's sad that it's ending, but at the same time, it's like, you got to go out when people still want more. It's better to do that than fizzle out. And I feel like the reception that we've seen has been wonderful. It's been such a gift. It's been a nice little, bow.
Years ago, I was at a convention with Colleen, who's the director. And she asked me, she said, why don't you have any prints for All for One? And I was like, who? What are you talking about? Because All for One in the early stages didn't have a whole lot to do. So it took me a minute to get on the bus, as it were. But once I did, I was just blown away because I've never seen a show, and I've been doing this since 1997, and I've never ever seen a show that has blown up in popularity like this. And I think it's probably not solely, but certainly responsible for the entire industry blossoming like it is.
How has the reception been? How have you felt, especially after that eighth episode where everybody just comes together and it just hits you right there in the sweet spot?
Yeah. This was Sanjay. That was a scene that I've sort of known was coming for a very, very long time because of the manga and especially because of all the fans. And so over the years, people have sort of talked about what that would look like in the anime, and it's been fun to really imagine what that would be. And I really feel like everything I've seen in this final season has been really some of the best animation and storytelling from the whole run of the show. It's been incredible to see how it's all come together. And so I just feel incredibly grateful to be a part of it and to get to step through that portal and be the English voice of Aizawa in that moment. Gets me a little choked up even thinking about it right now.
Yeah, I it's so rare that actors, especially voice actors, get to stay with characters for as long as we've gotten to stay with these characters, and so they've become a part of us. And in terms of the fan reception, it's so gratifying to see the fans so happy with where it's all led. That's an even rarer thing in this business, and it's just lovely. I mean, you have to understand, we're not just actors; we're also fans of the show, and it's just really lovely to see them stick the landing so strongly.
Just watching the fans identify with the characters, I think is one of the things that I'm always most impressed with, is how the characters are so relatable and feel so real, especially now that we're 8 seasons into the show. But it's been really, really incredible to watch fans kind of attach themselves to certain characters, and kind of find their, in my examples, their inner Kirishima, and kind of and I love that these characters all have something that's valuable, that's beneficial to them. And so I think that's pretty impressive, and it's been an honor to be a part of it.
And Justin, how do you feel, since you play the main character, Midoriya, and the fans mostly are on your side, although I'm on Katsuki's side. I'm a Bakugo fan, but mostly they're on your side. How do you feel about that?
Fair enough, and I think you're in pretty good company there as well, based on what I hear. It's been amazing. It's pretty rare in what we do that we even get to look forward to a season 6 or season 7, season 8. So that we've all gotten to do it together for so long, and it really brings people together in that way as well. Friends watch together, families watch together, and now a sort of cool thing is happening where we're seeing like day one viewers or people who kind of cottoned on to it early are making these sort of positive, great changes in their life, and they'll come to us and say, "Hey, My Hero Academia inspired me to do this, and it made me a better person for it." Like, that's really amazing. To be a small part of that kernel of positivity and optimism is really special to me.
How are you feeling? It's coming to an emotional close. It is, you're starting to feel that here. So how are you guys feeling about it?
Yeah, it's hard to encapsulate all of the feelings into a short soundbite or even the proper descriptors. It's bittersweet in many ways. It feels like, we've been involved in the storytelling of this for 9 years, and but it's bittersweet. It feels like the end of an era. But I also just feel a lot of gratitude for being able to be a part of this story with all of my colleagues and the impact it's had on people.
It is strange that it is coming to an end. I mean, a lot of times we get like 1 season on a thing, 2 seasons on a thing, maybe 3 if we're lucky. So to have spent so much time with these characters in their shoes, going through their journeys, which for the 3 of us have been exceedingly complicated. It's I love it. It's cathartic. It hurts. I feel like it's a whole gamut of emotions, really, as twee as that may sound, but it really is true.
I second everything that my brother said. But working on something like this for just about a decade of your life is exceptionally rare, not just in anime, but I think in the capacity as a performer in any context. And that is something that, it starts to bleed a little bit, at least for me. He is me and I am him. I mean, this character's been in my head. He's been in some facet of my brain, in my heart, in my mind for a decade of my life. And I think that I'm beginning to preemptively mourn in a weird way. I said to the director, the final director I worked with, I said, he'll always be in my mind. And he said, "Jay, he'll always be in your heart." And that is absolutely true.
The beauty about, MHA and anime on a whole is that a support character is not just there for a support. Everybody has their own arcs. Everybody has their own things that they're dealing with, and they represent a certain sector of the viewers. They connect with the viewers that way. Do you feel the same? What is your opinion about the importance of, the support heroes?
Yeah, the supporting cast of this show is so deep. The world that has been built here is just populated with so many interesting supporting characters, and it's almost a problem sometimes. because I find myself fascinated by some of these characters that I want to know more about. You know, I do feel like the creator has done a great job of fleshing out this world and fleshing out those characters, but sometimes they're so interesting that I find myself sort of drawn into characters that never quite get enough screen time for me. So it's so I do think, and to your point, being able to see it from the character that you identify with the most pulls you into the story in a really powerful way that I think a huge ensemble like this, when it's done well, can can really serve to bring in many, many more people to it that maybe would not have been as interested or would not have been as pulled in. And so I do think that's one of the great strengths of the show.
It's truly stunning how fleshed out the whole world of My Hero is, because every character, however minor, feels like someone you know, or someone that you want to get to know. That's just great storytelling. I remember when we first kind of approaching Ida and kind of figuring out who is this guy? You know, is he a jerk? Is he, where does he fall into this group dynamic? And there's the scene early on where he's on top of the exit sign, kind of telling everyone to calm down. And it's such a simple moment. It's such a great image, but it says so much about who he is and where he's going in that moment. And that's just the economy of that storytelling is so compelling. And the show is loaded with that. I mean, it's such a world. I mean, because, again, we talk about, the hero element being one of, like everyone's kind of supporting each other and learning, where they fit in this larger group dynamic. And that's how they find their own power. And in a way, it's as though, at least for me, the show is, kind of confirming that, you are who you are like the 8 people that you spend the most time with. And so, the creator has done a great job of giving us people that we really want to spend time with.
The dynamic between your characters, between Uraviti and Himiko Toga, has been shaky from the start. There has been a dynamic, and it is almost like your front runner dynamic that is going on the show, and it culminated so beautifully with blood literally being shared between the two. How how is the whole what was your experience like, living this relationship with a hero and a villain?
I feel like it ran, the full range of emotion. We got to be in it from, the infancy of that relationship all the way to the full arc. And it's always been emotionally charged in one way or the other. And it was, I don't know, it was amazing. You go from just this girl who finds you in the woods and wants to you and take your blood and hook your tongue up against a tree to we're crying and sharing blood and I'm saving your life, you're welcome. It's a huge buffet of emotion and range, and it's fun and sad and overwhelming all at once.
Yeah. I think definitely for Ochaco, it is a story of maturing and growing up and moving from kind of simplistic ideas of good and evil and heroes and villains into, what happens when you have more experience with people and you start to see that it's messy and it's not quite what you were told. It's not quite right. And to see her kind of coming to that is great. And I love that she had the personal, I guess the personal integrity, the personal courage to explore that, especially at the end when she is like, I think I've made some mistakes. I think I might be too late, but I'm not going to let that stop me from doing the best I can right now to reach out and connect with you and tell you that I see you and I see that there's more to you than what I thought. And I want you to know I saw it. I want you to know I see you. And it ultimately culminates in, I think, Ochaco, if she could talk, which she is dying, but I think she's as shocked as anybody at the end when she's laying there gasping on the ground and Toga is like, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm choosing to do today with my in this moment on this battlefield, I'm choosing to give myself to you so that you can live. I think Ochaco is the most surprised. I don't think she did anything thinking she was going to get anything.
And that is what makes her the most adorable character in the show because of how good she is. What do you feel about the relatability factor about not just the heroes but the villains as well? Because they too, you start to understand them. There's so much empathy for them that when it's the end, you don't really feel bad. The satisfaction of a hero's triumph is not wholesome. There is something for the villain as well. So
That's a good way
both
to
of
put
your
that.
inputs on this.
I mean, like what you said was right on. I mean, it's like the empathy that it shows for the villains, the way that Horikoshi wrote that. It gives us an opportunity to understand them. And just with Toga's story alone, I mean, how powerful is that? One person finally reaches out and says, I see you and I care. Let's talk. Let's be friends. Okay, let's do what you want to do. And all of a sudden she's like, great, I will now give you my life. Like that's how powerful just seeing somebody and understanding someone can be. And yeah, and I think they do that really well with the villains. And like you said, it makes them a likable character, which is great.
Toga has my favorite line in that whole episode we did, where it's that flashback to her as a child, and she says, "Mommy, Daddy, I don't understand. Does everybody have to lie? People can't just like what they like." And I thought that was the most relatable thing. I think people feel like that all the time. I don't get to be myself. Does everybody else have to walk around not being themselves too, and hiding the things that make them them? And I think that's one of the reasons when things happen to the villains, people are so affected twice, certainly. People are mad. And similarly, the heroes, I think you start to learn that it's not all, it's, like I said, it's messy. It's messy.
It's not usual that you get recognized by face, but when you're just talking to people, suddenly there's this wait a minute moment where people are like, wait, I've heard this voice. Who's this character? And something like that. Are there anecdotes to some things like that happening in your day-to-day lives?
I was going to say in day-to-day life, like unless I'm at a convention or some environment that is really specifically curated to what we do as voice actors and people that are fans of that, I don't get recognized even by voice, and I'm perfectly content with that. I love the work being the work and my life being the life, and the one doesn't bleed into the other. Like, no complaints.
It has happened. I was in a Hot Topic, which again is, that kind of environment, where I was purchasing some stuff and one of the employees was like, are you, so that's happened a couple times, but typically it doesn't happen unless I'm in a city where there's a convention or someone sees me at the hotel or something like that. But yeah.
I've had it happen, but again, it's there's always some sort of additional reinforcement happening at the same time. Most recently, I was with Christopher Sabat, who is a quite well-known voice in this world, and we were in Japan for Thanksgiving week last year.
I'm sure Christopher gets that a lot. As a fellow Vegeta fan, I was kind of, as soon as I heard All Might speaking, I was like, hey, this is Vegeta's voice. So has that happened to you guys in your personal lives when you're just out and about and you speak to people?
It's certainly accelerating. Before it used to be, I'd have to be like in a GameStop, or somewhere obvious, or a Best Buy, or somewhere where there would be kind of like nerdy kind of weeby activity, or like but now it's like going through TSA pre-check. Someone will look at my ID and go,
Yeah.
and they'll nod at me, and I think they're about to take me to a room, but actually it's just because they like All Might.
I've had that exact same thing. I was going through TSA and there were these two TSA agents, and the one that checked my driver's license was like, Clifford Chapin, are you the voice actor? And I was like, yeah. And he like turned and yelled over to the other TSA agent. It was like, this is the guy. And so then all of a sudden everybody in the line, like, and it past the TSA agents all turn and look back at me, and I'm just like, oh, this is awkward.
And that's what you want is TSA to go, this is the guy.
This is the guy.
Right.
But no, not all the time. Usually I'm just getting the, hey, you look like Pedro Pascal thing.
A little bit on the fun side, you guys have your own characters, and these characters come with their own quirks, right? So if you had these quirks in real life, how would you use it?
Ah.
Oh,
Oh.
wow. Our quirk, like Toga's quirk or Chaco's quirk?
Yeah, I get that it could be a little tricky for you, but if you had the choice, how would you use it?
A dumb one that comes to mind, but that I would totally do if I had her quirk. It is Christmas time, and I want so badly to put like a bunch of stuff on my house, like inflatables. I have a flat roof, and I want to put like a sleigh and all of that. I would float that stuff up there. I would be winning neighborhood awards with my Christmas game, is what I feel like. I
You
would
could
do
be
that.
your own elevator.
I could be. You know, in the beginning, I thought her quirk, I was like, I guess it's okay. I did not even consider how she would use the quirk. And the series has really educated me how cool it is. And I never thought about how it could be used for ill until Toga sort of showed
Yeah.
me the power of like raising people up and then dropping them or crashing them, you know, like
Ah! She's like, what have you
she's
been
like,
doing
duh.
the whole time? Yeah, God, how would I use that? Sucking people's blood and turning into them. First of all, I mean, I love a prank. I love playing them. So that would be at the top of my list. Be like, you cut your finger? Cool. Gimme. I'm gonna go beat you. I would love that. It would just make me laugh. I would use it for hilarity's sake. But at the same time, I mean, if that was cool, like I could turn myself into somebody and then give them a blood transfusion, like I'd be on that. That would be great. That's exactly how I would use that.
Yes, you have your individual characters, but you also have your personal preferences. So keeping your character and the preference inside, who would you choose as that, your partner in action? Who would that be?
Oh, but Todoroki, I mean, come on. I may be a little biased.
Hawks for Tokoyami.
Yeah.
I think Aizawa would do really well with Midnight, and they sort of came up together anyway. And I just feel like he goes a little hard. He's kind of a workaholic sometimes, and so I do think Midnight could maybe help him take a nap, which I think would be really helpful.
Maybe Bakugo, right? I can handle the rock, he can handle the pop. Maybe it's a musical show. I'm not really sure.
As a duo, what would you guys be doing? What do you think? Villainous stuff, hero stuff, or just stuff, something else on a whole?
Ochaco would probably be like, you want to go get something to eat? Do you eat real food? Like, she would just be like curious. What do you eat? You don't just eat blood, do you? Like,
We would do a lot of pranks. Like, I'd be like, listen, go float that person. This person's like walking, and all of a sudden you're just like, and it'd be hysterical. And you wouldn't hurt them. You would just like put them down where they were going. But it's like the moment in between where you get to like see the,
right?
I think that
You
would
sound
be
like you're a lot about those pranks.
yes. I love a prank.
On a closing note, this is my request to you guys. Can you guys give me a dialogue from your character with the voice?
I'm just gonna yell Shoto and hope my neighbors don't wake up. What time is it? I can do this. Wait, a little quiet one. Shoto!
Our paths will cross. I'll force them to. So please, stop this, brother.
Whether you spend the day laughing or crying, tomorrow will come just the same. So might as well laugh, right?
He's solid as a rock, Sanjay.
I am Ingenium.
If you're gonna go off on your own, you've got to be careful. You hear me, problem child?
It's fine now. Why? Because I am here.
Finally, you are the new me.
You damn nerd.
Deku is the name of a hero.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure talking to all of you. And on a personal note, as a big Vegeta fan, it was a big pleasure for me talking to you, Christopher. Thank you
I
so much.
noticed your Majin Vegeta on your shirt. Don't think you were hiding it.
Yeah, it's all over my Mac, it's on my PC, it's on my phone, it's everywhere. I'm a
What time is
fanatic
it
for
there?
Vegeta. It is 10 o'clock, 10 in the evening.
All right. Hopefully we'll come see you someday.
Sure, would love that. It was great fun talking to you guys,
Aw,
and
thank
congratulations on the
you.
great reception for the show.
Thank you so much.
I had a great time here. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
congratulations
Sanjay.
on the show.
You as well.
And thank you so much for the characters that you've given to all of us. Thank you, guys.
Been a
Thank
pleasure,
you.
Sanjay. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you very much, Sanjay.